G'day shooters, welcome back to Points of Impact. Now there's an argument out there that says that if you change the type of rest you put your rifle on, you'll change your point of impact. There are internet experts out there who swear that if you change your rest, you're going to miss your target. Are they right? Well, let's find out. We're going to shoot the same rifle over a bunch of different rests, have a look at the points of impact and see if there's any change. The thinking behind this theory is all about the way the rifle jumps when you let the shot off. If it jumps differently, it's going to throw the projectile in a different direction. What you want to do is make the jump consistent, so however you sight in should be the same way you shoot. Is the rest going to make much difference? Let's find out. Now the first thing we should do, of course, is set our benchmark group. So we're going to use a standard set of bags, front and rear, like most people use traditionally when they're sighting in a rifle, and that will give us our start point. We'll see where this rifle's shooting to. Our point of aim is the middle of the target, and let's have a look at where our point of impact actually is. That's a nice little 3-shot group, pretty typical of this rifle. It's a bit to the left, but that's fine. We're not after spot-on bullseye accuracy, we're after consistent groups, so we're not going to adjust the sights for now. We're going to just go to the next rest and see what happens. For our next 3-round group, we're going to use Smart Rest's Nitro Force. It's a solid rest. It doesn't have the yield that the sand-filled bags have, but it still provides 2 points of contact, and it still allows the rifle to jump. So let's see how that affects our point of impact. The result's another nice little sub-MOA group, almost in the same spot as the last one. Now, allowing for the rifle's consistency and my own unfortunate lack of it, I'd say that we haven't gone very far to proving anything yet. Let's try a bipod. It's a typical thing that we use out hunting. This one's a short one, it's fixed and doesn't pivot. Because of the height, we're going to put a block of wood underneath our shooting mat just to bring it up to a comfortable height, but that won't affect our point of impact. We're not going to use a rear rest this time because generally if you're using a bipod in the field, this is how you'll use it. Well, that was a crappy group. That makes no sense at all. I'm going to have to go away and have a think about this one. Now, after that pathetic little effort, I've given myself a good stern talking to, and I went out and reshot that group afterwards. I shot 3 shots off the sandbags to give myself a nice little benchmark again, and then I shot 3 off the bipod without a rear rest. And you can see there's almost no change in the whole thing. The group did open up, so out of interest, I put a rear bag underneath the gun. I fired another 3 shots at a lower point of impact, just so I could differentiate the 3 shots from them, and this is the result. Same thing, just a little bit tighter. And if you check out the relative points of aim, suddenly the points of impact are all in the same area. So I think you get no real change to point of impact if you use a bipod either. Righto, back to the main plot. We're going to patch those 3 crappy shots and hopefully never talk about them again. I don't mind if we don't. What we'll do for these next 3 shots is attach Smart Rest's Hyperpod 2. It's a monopod that's adjustable for length with a bipod at the bottom, and it will definitely change the way our rifle jumps. Or will it? Let's find out. We're shooting from a sitting position with no rear rest this time. Now the first 2 shots are well and truly on track to prove that we've still got no point of impact change. Then I pulled the 3rd shot, ruined that whole group. So what we're going to do is quietly patch that shot, never talk about it again, and get on with another shot. And look at that, bang in the middle with that 3rd shot. That's a perfect little 3-shot group, if you ignore the other 3rd shot that we won't talk about anymore. Thank you. Time to try out a Max Box 2. It's a solid foam rest that's got some give in it, and yet is nice and solid at the same time. So it's similar to the sandbags, but without the mass. We're going to use a mini Max Box to support the rear of the rifle and see how we go. The first shot seems to be a little high, but the next 2 shots go right back into the middle of our previous groups. They're looking good, and I'm happy to take the blame for that first shot. Probably me, it's the best explanation as we've seen. Overall, I'd say that this group's pretty representative of what we can expect the ticker to do over the Max Box. Again, we've got a good little group and we haven't got a significant change to where the centre of our group is. So do rests change the point of impact? Well, Strictly speaking, looking at what we're seeing here tonight, the answer has to be yes, because there is a little bit of drift left to right, even if there's no elevation change to them, but there does seem to be just a tendency for the rest to shift the point of impact one side or the other. However, it's a small variation. Like everything in shooting, this is not black and white. What we'd suggest you do is, if you're worried about it, just see what your rifle does. Use your rifle on your rest and see how much variation there is. If at 100 metres you've got a similar result to what we're showing here, and you've got large targets that aren't much further away than that, fine, I don't see a problem. I'd shoot quite happily off any of these rests based on that. But if I was shooting out to 300, 400, 500 metres, or I was shooting at rabbits and things like that, I think then I might pay a bit more attention to the results, to the variation that you can get. Again, it's entirely up to you to check it out and figure it out for yourself. Before you go, if you want to hang around for a tick, I've got a bonus for you. Let's see what happens when you do what you shouldn't do, and that's place the rifle barrel on the rest. Why shouldn't you do it? Well, watch. Yeah, with that, the whole lot goes to pot. Your accuracy is out the window. The trouble is that resting the barrel on there changes the vibration of the barrel. If you rest on the stock, the barrel isn't affected at all, and your consistency remains the same. Rest on the stock, happy results. Rest on the barrel, forget it. Thanks for watching. If you've got a few observations of your own on the subject, comment below. If you've got some shooting tips for me, I could probably do with them. If you liked the video, give us a like too. And if you want to see more of these, subscribe to us, follow us, do whatever it takes so that we can keep in touch with you and let you know when we've got more of these coming. Until next time, shoot well.